On today's episode of Aqua Kids,
we meet renowned artist Patrick Ching
take an art lesson
and paint an amazing mural. Hey everybody at home, and welcome to another fantastic episode of Aqua Kids. I'm Katie.
And I'm Drew. And on today's episode of Aqua Kids, we meet renowned artist Patrick Ching.
Mr. Ching draws his inspiration from visiting remote islands of Hawaii and taking in its pristine habitat.
Not only will we get to see some of his amazing work, but he'll also give us an art lesson and let us try our hand at painting murals.
Well, that sounds awesome.
Well, let's get out our brushes.
All right.
We're going to put a shell within the shell.
Hey guys, today we're here at Waimanalo on the island of Oahu in Hawaii, where we're going to be meeting one of the most famous Hawaiian painters, Patrick Ching.
Yeah, Katie, I'm excited to see how the beautiful landscape of Hawaii can be turned into such inspiring artwork.
Yeah, well, let's talk to Patrick and see how his wildlife experiences have translated into magnificent pieces.
So Patrick, I heard you spent a lot of time on remote Hawaiian islands. Can you tell us about your experiences on them?
Yeah, well, I was so lucky. I got to see what a real pristine ecosystem's supposed to look like. You know, it's got all the fish, and people don't fish there, and there's not all kind of people on the beaches. So it's just monk seals, sea turtles, seabirds, and all of the wildlife that you'd expect to see in the proportions that they're supposed to be in.
Yeah.
So you said it's important that people see what these animals really look like. Why did you choose art as your medium?
Well, when I was a kid, I got so excited by little things that move, especially animals, you know, like a bird, a butterfly, a frog. Every time I see a new animal, I run to the encyclopedia, which is like your version of a computer, you know? And my favorite was these transparent layers, like say it had a picture of a bird, you could peel back the feathers and see the skin, you could peel back the skin and see the muscles, peel back the muscles, see the organs, peel back the organs, see the bone structure. And I just was so fascinated by that. And when I do art, I like to think of nature as having many layers also. So I like to peel back and see the anatomy of nature when I'm painting.
Well, Katie, it looks like Patrick definitely got his inspiration from the right place. He was inspired by nature.
Totally. Get a pen and paper out, because when we come back, the Aqua Kids get an art lesson from famous artist Patrick Ching. Believe me, you'll definitely want to follow along.
We're back here with Patrick Ching, and he's going to be teaching us the process for drawing a Hawaiian monk seal. So Patrick, how's it done?
Well, whether I'm drawing a cartoon or a sign or a fine art drawing, I always start with a three-step drawing process. And I'm going to ask you to write these 3 words on the top of your paper, because writing them down is going to help you remember them, okay? Are you ready? The first word, forming, F-O-R-M-I-N-G. Okay, the first step of the drawing process is forming, and I'll tell you about it later. The next step is outlining, O-U-T-L-I-N-I-N-G. Haha. Yes, and the final stage of the drawing, from the Greek word shadiferous.
Shading!
Shading, right. Oh man, I don't know if that's really a Greek word, but shading, S-H-A-D-I-N-G. And right there, if you can remember these 3 words, you'll always know how to start a drawing, how to proceed through it, and how to finish it off. And the Hawaiian monk seal lends so well to these 3 steps in a drawing process. When you look at the monk seal, what kind of shapes come to mind? Circles, what else? Ovals, circles and ovals, and that's about it. You know, most animals, even us people, we're made of ovals and circles. There ain't really even straight lines on us. Even the things we think are straight are actually a series of circles and ovals.
I noticed there's no erasers on the pencils. Is that done for a purpose?
Well, I was hoping you wouldn't notice that, but I don't want you to think about erasing. I'd rather have you think about pressing very softly in this form-up stage, okay? we're going to be pressing so softly that we're not going to dig into the paper. If you press softly enough, you don't need to erase. If you do a circle for the head, for example, and you want to make it bigger or smaller, you just go and make it bigger or smaller. In the first stage of the drawing, forming, we're pressing so softly that we don't need to erase. Okay, gang, so we're going to put the monk seal's head up here in the upper left corner of your page, and go ahead and give it a circle, probably about the size of a golf ball. Nice and softly. Try to strive to make nice, confident circles like that. Instead of going like a nervous person would, try and be confident and fluid with your strokes. Go ahead. There you go. Oh, perfect. Ta-da! You're done. Okay, we're going to give it an oval about 3 times as big as a head. Just give it a couple sweeps like that. Ta-da! Now don't be stiff, everybody. Relax. Loosen up. There you go. Okay. Now you can have a nice, calm, smooth oval. People love to see the confidence in your strokes. Okay, it's going to get funner now. Let's take the monk seal's, funner is a word. Let's take the monk seal's head and give it another circle at the bottom. That's where the mouth and nose goes. That's called the muzzle, the mouth and the nose together. A little circle on the bottom half of the head like that. Okay, so we formed up our monk seal. We got it nice and loose in there. We know where it fits on the page. We know that it does fit on the page. You guys ever start like drawing something like a dog or a horse, and you start at the nose, and by the time you come to the tail, what happens?
Run out of
You're
room.
off the page already. That's one very good reason for forming things up. It tells us where we want to put our animal, how big. You want to get all your proportions right in the form up stage, so that the next stage, the outlining stage, you have everything in the right place and about the right size. Okay, swooping the top of the head to the top of the body and come right down to the back flipper, and I'll know you're finished when I hear you go right there. Okay? Okay. So start under the chin. Everybody, under the chin, start your engines. Go around the top of the head, swooping the top of the head to the top of the body, all the way down the back to the back flipper, and I'll know you're finished when I hear you go. The next part, I've been told, is the hardest part of the monk seal, but you might find it easy. It's the back flipper.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Well, the back flipper is shaped like a human hand. It has 5 digits. See, we're going to start a little bit in here. Make 1 big one, 3 skinny ones, 1, 2, 3, and 1 more big one right there. And that's what a Hawaiian monk seal's back flipper looks like, see? Well, all right, you guys got through the hardest part. How was it?
Sort of.
That's beautiful. Okay, now that was the hardest part, I think, so you're just going to expect to have a good and easy time after this, okay? Now, some of you noticed that there are little overlapping lines. These are very important. I learned this on Captain Marvel comics. They put a line in front of another line. It tells the viewer what's in front of what. So a little overlapping line tells the viewer that this flipper is a little bit in front of the body, okay? So now we're going to start by taking a line from this back flipper and going right to the front flipper and stop right there at the front flipper, okay? Okay, from there, go right to the front flipper and okay, good. Oh, you got it.
That might be right. We'll see.
My seal's way too skinny.
That looks okay. It's a model.
Model seal.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Come on, Drew. It was great.
Stick around. Aqua Kids will be right back. Welcome back to Aqua Kids. Let's get back to Hawaii with a drawing lesson.
Okay, this next part's an important overlapping line again. I'm going to do the front flipper, and again, whatever line goes in front of another line, that tells the viewer what's in front of what. So after I've done that front flipper, I'm going to continue this line all the way to where we started, and ta-da!
Aw, it looks so good.
Okay, so let's get that front flipper in there. That's it right there. No, you good. You're... All right, but this poor monk seal's only got 1 front flipper. How many front flippers does a monk seal have?
3.
No. 2. Okay, 2.
3?
So let's just repeat this shape right here. Go ahead and repeat the shape of the front flipper and stop it right there.
All right, I did it in pencil first, just to make sure it looks fantastic.
That's good. Just repeat the shade. Let's see that. Oh, you got them. Of course it looks right. Okay, you guys ready for the fun part?
Yeah.
Okay, let's give this monk seal a face. Poor thing cannot eat because it doesn't have a mouth yet, okay? So right in this lower circle, remember the muzzle, the mouth and the nose? Let's make like the letter W, like a kind of like a cat's mouth, the letter W right there, okay? Okay, let's give him a letter W or a little mouth inside that lower circle. There you go. Okay, now right in the middle of that W, right above that cleft, let's give him a couple of nostrils, and these can be little slits like that, or they can be open like watermelon seeds, you know? Okay, and now for the most captivating, the most enchanting part of a monk seal, they're nice, big, dark maca. You know what the maca is? The maca is the eyes, right? So make some big, dark eyes. Right above that line, you go and make some big, dark maca. Okay, go ahead. Nice and big. That monk seal is gonna thank you for his nice, big maca. All right, fill them in nice and dark.
Oh, look, she's so pretty. She has pretty eyelashes.
All right, you gave him some nice big eyes there, some nice big maca that monk seal is so happy to be able to see now. And now we're gonna finish it off with some whiskers. So give about 3, 4, 5, 6, give a few whiskers on either side, okay? Zoom, 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 zoom.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
That sounded so weird.
Hey, other side. Come on, that poor thing's turning right. Now the monk seal is going to thank you for those big whiskers because they help when he goes into caves and is looking for fish and feels their way around. They even got whiskers on the top of their head above their eye. They got like 3 little sprigs, boing, boing, boing. So you can give them 3 little sprigs above the eyes, okay? Boing, boing, boing. Boing, boing, boing.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so we did the forming up of the monk seal, we did the outlining, and now we come to the final stage of the drawing from the Greek word shadiferous. It's shading, yes, and shading's going to add form and dimension. We want to make this monk seal seem like you can feel it, you can put your armor on it, but don't do that because they bite real hard. Okay, so we'll start shading with these back flippers. We'll shade the back flippers a little bit, and instantly they're going to look farther away than the front flippers. Okay, gang, we're gonna do a gradual fade now. This is called a gradation, where it gradually fades from light to dark. So it's gonna take a little bit of time, and we're gonna gradually fade the monk seal's body and get it slightly darker and darker as it goes down toward the bottom of the monk seal's belly. Okay, so this may take time. If you can get this skill good and you can get your fades to fade without any abrupt line in between them, people are going to be really impressed with your drawings. Yeah, so you can go ahead. Okay, now a good key is kind of make it kind of big at first. Okay, good. That's good right there. A little bit more right here. Just a little bit right here. Another place you can shade is right here. You can emphasize the difference between one flipper and the body. A little bit darker right under the mouth there. Makes it look like he's smiling. You can go a little more right there. You're a good artist, huh? You think you're going to be an artist for a living? Huh? Now just to show everybody where the sand is, let's put some dots right below that line, okay? Okay, now one shadow is missing from this picture. If the seal was swimming in the ocean above the sand, there'd be what? A shadow on the sand, right? So go ahead and do a little shadow right under that line. This is the cast shadow. It's the shadow that the monk seal cast onto the sand. Now, anybody here think you might want to be an artist for a living? Huh?
I don't know about that.
Well, you can be if you want to. But good artists notice things more than other people. And good artists notice something about shading that other people don't notice. I'm going to show you a little bit of an advanced shading technique called reflective light. Now, there's direct light, like the sun is shining on the back of the seal. It lights up the top of the seal. But reflective light is all that light that shines all around the monk seal. It hits the sand, it kind of bounces up and lights up the underneath of the monk seal's belly. So to show reflective light, we can make it darker almost to the bottom of the monk seal's belly, but not at the very bottom. So now you watch me give it a little bit more shading towards the bottom, but not quite all the way to the bottom of the monk seal's belly. And that makes it seem like its belly is kind of glowing from the light that bounces off the sand and shines up underneath it. You can make it a little darker, not at the very bottom of the monk seal's belly. Yeah, we want to make it seem like it glows, like the belly glows. Okay, so you guys know how to do a drawing now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just follow that 3-step drawing process, and no matter what you want to draw, you'll always know where to start, how to go through it, and how to finish it up.
Yeah, it makes it really easy to learn and remember for future drawings.
All right, well, good job.
Well, thank you.
You guys did a really great job. I don't think I could have ever done that.
Well, Drew, Patrick Ching is a fantastic teacher, but one of the most valuable things that he taught us was that the best teacher you will ever have is yourself. So if you follow his 3-step drawing process, it works every time.
And you won't believe what you get to see when we return. The Aqua Kids get to paint a mural.
Welcome back to Hawaii, where we get to paint a mural with Patrick Ching.
Well, you better get your painting clothes on and get started.
Got my little smock, my little painting clothes.
We're here at Waimanalo on the island of Oahu in Hawaii, and we're going to get the chance to work with the famous Hawaiian artist, Patrick Ching.
Yeah, and we're actually gonna get a chance to paint an underwater mural right here for their community classroom.
It's a really unique experience to work with a person like this and to have it be at a place where so many people can enjoy it.
It is. So are you ready to get artsy?
Yeah, but first we should put on our t-shirts.
Oh, right.
Okay, I'm gonna start with my aqua team. Who's my aqua team?
Right here.
1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna start in the middle here, work our way out. Okay, my friend. You see this line here? You don't go lower than that. Okay, where's my purple people? All right, you're whipping. There you go. You can hold that and share it. And we're gonna start you in the middle and work your way out, okay? The very bottom is the most important part.
How do you come up with ideas for murals and paintings?
Well, I just surround myself with the things that I love, and it started when I was a little kid. You know, I like to make surf posters for my room, so that's how I learned how to paint.
Wow.
Okay, people, so put more paint than you think. We don't want any white specks showing.
So what are you doing now? Are you trying to visualize where the animals are all going to go on the mural?
Yeah, I got about at least 8 animals we're gonna put on there. I wanna arrange them in a pleasing composition. Yeah, so I'm gonna go draw these, outline them, and you guys can fill them in like a color book. Yeah, you can do the outline and then paint all in the middle. This turtle, we're not gonna make it as intensely colored as most of the other animals. It's up there in the sunlight, you know? So I think this color would be just perfect for it. Yeah, just give it a nice outline of this color. That turtle is beautiful. I think that turtle stays right there, just like that. Okay, so we'll be painting these little highlights where the sun hits the whale, and they're gonna be in like little crescent shapes like this.
I am painting a white fish. I don't know what it's called, but it's white.
There we have it, the Aqua Kids mural.
Okay, we had a full day. We started off learning how to draw with the Hawaiian monk seal, and we learned the 3-step drawing process, forming, outlining, shading. Went into the color wheel, learned about our basic colors and our secondary colors and complementary colors, and then went right into painting this mural. And I love the way we all worked as a team. We were in and out weaving. Boy, we got that background done fast, and then we painted our favorite animals, and you got to spend some time with your favorite animal today. Having painted them and observed things that you haven't noticed before, did you learn a little bit about the animal that you're painting?
Definitely, yeah. You get
Alright.
very intimate when you have to pay that much detail, that much attention to one animal.
Yeah, so you get to know it more. How does it make you feel about the animal? Make you care about it anymore? Any
Definitely,
less?
yeah. I feel like the next time I'm around that animal, I'm gonna be a lot more observant and, you know, noticing all the little details that you notice every time you see an animal.
Yeah, well, we did a lot of work in a short amount of time. We got colorful, we got psychedelic, we had vibrating colors, complementary colors. They're complimenting us. We are colored ourselves.
Well, that's all we have for today's show. Patrick Ching is really an amazing artist and teacher.
Totally, Drew. He showed us that the beauty of the natural world is an inspiration we can all draw from.
And what a loss it would be if we all didn't do our part to preserve it.
That's true. It's up to us to make sure that the future is a bright and beautiful picture.
And remember, everyone can do their part to help keep this planet green and blue.
And so can you. So visit our website for cool eco tips.
And fun links to show you how we can keep the world and the water.
A great place to play and explore.
And we'll see you next time on Aqua Kids.
Aqua Kids, traveling